smoking some Peter Stockby HH Vintage Syrian. Is it Stockby? No, McBaron. In a, this is the Brian Doran that I picked up as an estate pipe at the West Coast Pipe Show in Las Vegas. And then this winter I was cleaning snow off the roof, trying to keep the snow from crushing my little cabin. And it all came down, and the rake and everything, and blew the pipe out of my mouth, and it landed somewhere in a bush on the ground. I couldn't find it under all that snow. So about 2 weeks later, there it was. So, rescued. This one dates from 2014. I like these thick, rustic kind of pipes. The blue bit is kind of wild for me, but you know, it's kind of cool. I like acrylic versus Vulcan. So I'm a little late going back to work today. I checked my email. I'm good. I don't have things pending too much. But I did my federal taxes. I've been putting it off. Oh my God. So, like 4 years ago, I waited until the very last minute to do them, thinking, oh, you know, it's not, you just go down through the 1040 easy. Well, I couldn't do the easy because I had some dividends from some stuff my mom had given me. And so I had to use some different forms, and at that time, things were much more complicated. So I finally, at about 2 in the morning, said, I'm a college-educated guy. I'm not stupid. I may not be the smartest peg in the hole, but, you know, I can usually figure things out. I couldn't figure it out. So I just kind of did my best. And wrote a check for the amount that I thought I might owe, I don't know, and then wrote on there, I really tried, honest to God, I really tried, I could not figure this out. And so, you know, 2 months later, I get back this letter from the IRS saying, you owe, you know, additional $873 plus penalty. So after that, I hired a friend of mine who's a CPA to do it. It cost me $350. Ouch. But I still had to gather everything up, you know. And then that's when when I was doing deductions for like medical and stuff. Okay. And then what was it, last year? The year before? I forget. Anyway, I tried TurboTax. So I tried the middling one. Well, I needed the upper one. So, and I didn't buy it online. I bought it at Costco, and so, you know, $50 for the middling one, and then like $75 for the upper one, and you couldn't just trade one in and just pay $25. So, you know, that was like $125. And it really wasn't that much easier, honestly. So this year, they changed the tax form, thank goodness. It benefited me. And they raised the standard deduction, so it's not worth doing any deductions. Which makes it basically like a 1040EZ used to be, which they got rid of that form. Anyway, I did it, and I only owed 400 some bucks, and so, yippee, I have this lightness, because that was kind of on my mind. And then, you know, I just hadn't been making, well, I actually had been making a few videos, and I just didn't really like them, you know. I had gotten a new used camera, a Pentax K5, which used to, you know, in 2012 or whatever was their top of the line camera. For various reasons, I picked that up for like $200. And it does video. So I was trying a little bit of video stuff because I've been watching as I've redeveloped my interest in photography. There are some amazing photography videos out there. I'm interested basically in landscape photography. And so, God, there are some really talented people doing videos out there. My goodness. Now, the bad thing is you watch those videos and you think, God, my videos suck, you know, and they do. But it's a whole different thing. You know, I think they're kind of trying to support themselves with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and stuff. And I personally don't care. You know, if you watch it, great. If you don't, well, it fulfilled my need for having a smoke. And so, thank you very much. But it's not, I'm not trying to do anything more than that, you know. So anyway, it's been some experimentation. And my head's been kind of in financial stuff, and so getting these taxes out of the way is huge. Now comes property taxes. I mean, it's a first world problem. You know, I'm blessed, thank you, to have property on which to pay taxes, right? And I'm blessed to have income on which to pay income tax. So, yeah, I'm blessed in so many ways. So many. Yeah. So this was the last of a tin of some HH vintage Syrian, which I hear they're not making anymore. Well, there isn't any Syrian Latakia anymore. But they just kind of dropped that whole product. So there is a Balkan something. It's an HH vintage series, or an HH series. And it has Balkan in the name, but I haven't tried it yet. So I need to do that. There's always a new tobacco blend to try. So that should give us all hope. Oh, that may be the one. That may be the one that I love more than anything else in the whole wide world. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. So instead of having a congratulatory drink, I'm such a non-drinker. I mean, yeah, that I had some dark chocolate after I did my taxes to celebrate. So maybe that's what's making me giddy. I don't know. So this is near Seattle. It's on the west side of Puget Sound. That's a float plane. To have one beep here. You can hear it in the distance. So Seattle has been one of the news stations, the television stations in Seattle did this expose or whatever you want to call it, an investigative report. And I'll put a link down below. Called Seattle is Dying. And it's about the drug problem, the homeless problem. Yeah. So, and we've all known it. Every time you go over to Seattle, when you don't live there especially, it's like, whoa, there's a lot of people on the streets here living, you know, and just laying about, all drugged up or whatever, drunked up. It's hard to say. And you go, how, you know, Seattle's has these Scandinavian roots that wouldn't allow that. So it's always been a mystery why that happens. And so the nickname is Freeattle because of all of the social services available. So people come here from far and wide to crash and take advantage of those services. Anyway, it's a big problem. And I have always been interested in like tiny houses and kind of how that might be a solution to homelessness. And we tend to conflate homelessness with and not really deal with the drug abuse issue. Anyway, this talks about that. in a sort of an inflammatory way, which really gets your attention. It has a certain perspective. So, um, yeah, we've all been doing a discussion on that. Um, some people just say, yeah, it's just the toilet bowl is swirling and it's headed into the sewer, and that's where we're at. There's nothing that can be done. And there was a Ninth Circuit decision from a Idaho case which affects Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, maybe Montana, I don't know, saying that sleeping is such a basic human need that cities, unless they have homeless housing, unless they have places to house these people, cannot say you can't live on the streets. Wow. Well, that kind of puts a kibosh on the law enforcement aspect of an ordinance saying you can't live on the street or piss on the street or whatever. Anyway, that's been kind of a swirl happening. So, yeah, a lot of discussion around that. No easy solutions. So, anyway, it's city of Seattle mostly. Although we all have homeless people living in the woods, just right here, right here. There were a few tents about 5 years ago, hidden off in the woods, where a couple of people were apparently living. Wow. So, pretty amazing. Then another topic that has been kind of swirling about is, I don't know if I even want to get into this, because it's a big topic, but we'll do it in another video when I have a little more clarity for myself on what I want to talk about. It's about the place of young men in our culture and how they have kind of lost their place and they've lost their meaning, and that's part of the problem. And it's all related to the homeless drug use thing, but that's a big topic. And I have to get back to work. So that I shall do. But I'm enjoying this pipe. This is like a celebratory pipe for doing my taxes, and only owing 400 some bucks. There was one time when I was self-employed. Now see, that's a long time ago, because I've been where I'm at for 25 years, 26 years. Where I had to pay like $9,000 because I was that contractor. Oh my God. So I have a few emotional scars about taxes, I guess. Anyway, I'm right under the pterodactyl colony, which is blue herons, great blue herons. And so they have these, in fact there's one walking right above me. Later in the summer this will be entirely white with heron shit. So, there's one. See these nests up here? Oh yeah, there goes one. So they're kind of semi-protected, and I can walk under here, not advised when they're all shitting. But I'm going to relocate the trail up out of their path a little bit. But that's pretty interesting. They all seem to do this communal nesting site way up in the maples, big leaf maples.